Welcome to another episode of My Mom Calls It Soccer. I'm Michelle, and I'm a Liverpool fan.
I'm Chase, I call it football, and I'm a Barca fan.
And I'm Grandma, and I'm a Real Madrid fan.
And we're going to start off this episode the way we always start off. Each of us are going to talk about one thing we loved this week and one thing we hated.
One thing I liked this week was that we came back and won 2-1 against
Barca?
Yes,
Okay,
Barca.
sorry.
No, you're fine. Against Frankfurt in a 2-1 win, and Koundé got both goals. One thing that I hated this week was that we had to play against a really low block in Osasuna, and that it took us 70 minutes to score our first goal.
Okay. So just kind of boring, frustrating,
Yeah.
but...
And we got one of the dumbest offside calls ever. So, yeah.
Okay. Grandma, what about you?
Okay, so one thing that I loved was that Real Madrid finally won today after having lost on Wednesday to Man City.
Yes.
That was excruciating to watch. And the one thing that I hate is that Trent Alexander-Arnold is out until probably February.
What's wrong with him?
He's injured.
That was my guess. Chase, do you know what's wrong with him?
No, I don't.
This is a podcast where you can get all of your in-depth football information. Actually, we're geared toward new fans, so all you need to know is he's hurt. If you're a hardcore fan, you're not watching us anyway. So he's hurt, and so we hope he's better.
Yes.
We hope he gets better.
Yes.
Okay, I had two things I loved this week and nothing that I hated because Liverpool finally had a pretty good week. So I loved that Szoboszlai scored a penalty kick to win our Champions League game. And then I loved that Mo Salah was back at home on Saturday in the Liverpool game. There's been a lot of controversy going on. If you're a new fan, you may not know a lot about it. But for fellow Liverpool fans, there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen there. And I don't know what's going to happen. And I have mixed feelings on all of it. But I love him as a player and a person. And I loved seeing him back on the pitch. He didn't get to start, but he came in pretty early.
Came in early.
Yeah, because there was an injury. But to Joe Gomez, I think. So those are things that we loved and hated from this past week.
And I love that you said Szoboszlai correctly.
I know. I'm getting better at it. Okay, now it's time for us to update all of our matchup participants. And we have matchup participants that we matched with teams over the summer, but we also have speed matchup participants that we're matching up throughout the year. So Chase, why don't you start us off?
So our first matchup is with Sarah, who is now a Barcelona fan. We start off with the 2-1 win against Frankfurt, where we came back from being down 1-0 in the first half to coming back in the second half with 2 goals from Koundé.
And that was Champions League,
Yes.
right? Okay.
And in the weekend, we come off of a win against Osasuna 2-0, where it comes from 2 goals from Rafinha.
Okay.
I'd say the player that you would want to watch from these 2 games is Pedri. He gave an assist in the Osasuna game, and he was just all around really good. He was great at controlling the game, keeping the system in check, running back to claim balls, playmaking, even getting shots off. He was really good at it.
Okay, so we'll put a link to some YouTube videos that Sarah can watch that highlight Pedri from those games. Okay?
And our next match is going to be in the Copa del Rey against Guadalajara.
Okay, and that's coming up this next week.
Yes.
And the Copa del Rey is a tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, who else are you updating besides your fellow Barcelona fan?
It's Scott.
Scott. And Scott is a new speed matchup participant as well, just like Sarah.
Yes.
And Scott, we matched with Tottenham Hotspur. Right. Okay.
Yes.
So Tottenham.
They beat Slavia Praha in the Champions League. I don't know the score. It was probably I think it was 2-0, something like that.
Maybe. I can't remember either, but yes. So,
which was a good win to come off of. But in the weekend today, they just lost to Nottingham Forest 3-0.
And I feel that pain because we lost to Nottingham Forest.
Lost to Nottingham
yeah,
Forest.
so a team that's at the bottom of the table, but keeps beating the big teams. So for Scott, what games are coming up?
It's going to be next Saturday against Liverpool.
Okay, so that's against my team. So grudge match between Scott and I next weekend. And that should be on NBC or Peacock.
Yeah.
Okay. And you got somebody else to update as well?
Yes, I have Brad.
Brad.
He is our Bayern fan.
Yes.
In the Champions League, they came off of beating Sporting 3-1.
Okay.
But in the weekend, they drew 1-1 to, I believe their name is Friends.
Okay.
05.
Okay.
That's their number thing.
Okay.
The draw doesn't really matter. They're going to win the league. So.
They're so far ahead, right?
Yeah.
And
their
Dortmund.
their competitors drew.
Okay.
And they got a red card.
Okay. And so in that first win that was in the Champions League, where is Sporting from?
Portugal.
Okay. So again, and we will link that as well. Just a reminder, we have a whole episode about the Champions League. And so if you're new to the game and understanding the difference between a Champions League game versus a league game, we'll put a link down below if you're interested in watching that.
Yes.
Now Grandma is going to update some of our participants.
The first update is Jamie, who is one of our regular matchups, and she selected the same team that I have, which is Real Madrid. We had a rough game on Wednesday in the Champions League and lost 3-1 to Man City. But we came back today, and we were able to beat
Deportivo.
Deportivo Alaves. I can remember the Alaves. That's the other part I can't.
And I think I was watching. I think all of the commentators just call it Alaves.
It's just
right?
Alaves.
Yeah.
But we were able to beat them 2-1, and Mbappe scored the first goal. He had a breakaway run down the pitch and had no problem scoring. The second goal was a great pass from Vinny Jr. to Rodrigo, who made a great attempt and finish on the ball. And so they won 2-1. Vinny and Rodrigo both will be playing for Brazil in the FIFA World Cup.
Rodrigo's been doing pretty good, hasn't he?
He has, yes. He's been playing really well.
Yeah.
And Vinny Jr. did get a yellow card.
Shocking.
Yes, real shocking.
Okay. Who's your next update for?
I'd also like to update our two folks we matched with Arsenal, which is Josh and Rita. We've been having a little trouble getting them on board with getting excited about a beautiful game of soccer. We're working on it.
We knew this would be a work in progress, and we knew that not everyone might dig in right away. The
ironic thing,
yes,
the ironic thing is that Arsenal is not only top of the table in their league,
they're doing really good,
which is Premier League, but they also are top of the table in the Champions League.
Yes.
So you'd feel like they would care.
Yes.
Yeah. If you were ever going to get matched with a team that you were like, wow. This is the
They're
team.
They're projected to be the best team in the world.
Yeah, they are really, really good. So we are part of what we're hoping is helping highlight what's going on with them, when their games are. Maybe we can get them pulled in a little bit more. So tell them what else is going on with Arsenal.
They won their Champions League game on Wednesday against Club Brugge, and it was 2-1?
3-0.
No, 3-0? Okay. Oh, the 2-1 is against Wolves.
Yes.
Which Wolves have yet to win a game.
I know.
But they did at least score in this one.
Yeah. It was in the 90th minute.
Really?
And then in the 94th minute, another own goal. They got both of Arsenal's goals came from own goals.
Own goals. Oh,
they conceded a late minute own goal, and
yeah.
the player who scored it was holding his face and everything.
You feel so bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
So bad for them.
Bad.
Well, I have an update for Carol, who is matched with my team, Liverpool. And I think that, like Brad with Bayern, she's paying quite a bit of attention. So I think she may already know this, but I'm going to give the update anyway, just in case. We've had controversy on and off the pitch, but we had a good week. So we did win our Champions League game 1-0, and we beat Inter Milan, which I thought was a good win. Mm-hmm. I think they're down a little bit this year.
They are top of the table.
Oh, they are top of the table. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they're a pretty good team.
Serie A, it's like very close between like 1 and 4th.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it doesn't really matter.
And then, so we won that game on a penalty kick by my favorite player, Shabasly, which I'm getting better at saying his name.
Are you good at saying Dominic?
Dominic. I'm pretty good at Dominic.
Dominic.
And then we won our Premier League game against Brighton yesterday. We won our game against Brighton Saturday. That's what I should say. So things are looking a little bit better. I believe we're 6th on the table right now. We still have a long ways to go, but at least
You're
turning
headed the
things
right
around.
direction.
Correct.
Yes.
My next update is for a new speed matchup participant who just matched with Manchester United. And I know that Nick and Emily are going to be super excited that we finally matched somebody with Man United. They help us out on the show a lot. Man United did not have a Champions League game because they're not in the Champions League this year.
Nor a European game.
Or European. They didn't have a European game. So they're not in any of the Champions, Europa, or
Europa Conference
League. So they're not in any of those. But they did play last Monday against Wolves, and they won 4-1. And then they haven't played yet for this match week. They play tomorrow. So we'll update Brandon on how that went, but we're super excited to have him as part of the process. And they have a big game next week against Aston Villa. We have 2 Abbies that are part of our original matchup participants. We have Abby B and we have Abby O. And so Abby B, we matched with Dortmund. They drew in the Champions League Wednesday against, I don't know how to say this, Bodo Glimt.
They're Norwegian.
Oh, okay. So they drew 2-2, and then they drew again today against Freiburg 1-1. So 2 draws. It's been a little bit of a down year for them. I think they're 3rd in the table in Bundesliga, but still a good team and still fun to watch. And then Abby O, who we matched with Aston Villa, and Aston Villa had a really slow start out of the gate. And I was
0 goals in like 13 games.
Yes, and I was feeling bad about matching her with them, and then now all of a sudden they are on
3rd in the table,
fire.
And they're 3 points behind Arsenal.
Yes.
10 out of 11 games.
Yeah. So they are playing amazing today in their game. They wore their 3rd kit, which is my favorite, which is the white and lavender and light blue. It's so cute. And they are playing in the Europa League, which is the division below the Champions League, correct? So for their European play, and they won 2-1 against Basel. Sorry, we'll figure out.
Sounds right.
Okay. And then today they beat West Ham in a Premier League game.
Yes.
So they are doing really, really well. They are currently 3rd place in the Premier League table and 3rd place in the Europa League table. Yep. So they're doing really, really good. So those are all of our updates for our matchup participants and speed matchup participants. We're going to continue to get more people involved, do more speed matchups. So if you see this and you want us to match you with a team, let us know in the comments because we would be happy to do that. Okay, welcome to a new segment that we've put together for all of our new fans to the beautiful game, where we talk about the history between these epic rivalries that go way beyond just football.
Welcome to Messi on the Pitch. Not to be confused with Lionel Messi. It's Messi. And the first one is Sunderland versus Newcastle. They're only 12 miles apart, but full of pride, old grudges, and working class history. It's more than colors, it's coals, shipyards, and bragging rights that never quit.
And those 2 teams played today, which is why we chose this one to do, and they had not played each other since 2016. All right, Chase, tell us what the mess is.
It's one of the oldest rivalries in football history. Historically, it's been about the coal mining and even like shipbuilding industry, which was huge in England. Newcastle sided with Parliament historically back during the whole monarchy era, while Sunderland sided with the monarchy.
Okay.
And so ever since then, Sunderland would get more backing from the monarchy than Newcastle. And as football took hold in the late 1800s, that's when the rivalry started.
Okay.
And so it's been gritty, it's been filled with hate, and it's been rough all the time. This is one of the Once again, one of the oldest rivalries in football history and probably one of the toughest.
And why hadn't they played each other since 2016?
Because Sunderland's been in the championship.
Because they've been relegated.
Yep.
So they just promoted this year, and then they beat Newcastle today, right?
Mm-hmm. With an own goal from one of Newcastle's new signings, Nick Voltemade.
Adding to the mess.
Yeah.
And so a great rivalry to check out and look more into if you're interested. Two towns so close together and so much competition, and there's a lot of that. And
with huge political and historical reasoning behind it.
The political and economical things that we're going to explore in this series that will continue as we look at these rivalries is really fascinating, because I think for a lot of us in the U.S., rivalries could be regional or
it's just about the teams that you often play.
Yes, but it is so old there, and there is so much history between these cities and towns, and we're looking forward to diving more and more into that and helping people really understand how deep-rooted these rivalries are.
And you might take a side in this rivalry, which one you like more. Maybe you might even become a part of Sunderland's identity or Newcastle's identity, with which historical presence you like the most. You might even find yourself rooting for one of them.
That's a very good point. You may relate to one of the things in their history, and that might help you latch on to which team you want to be a fan of.
Yep.
Think the Hatfields versus the McCoys.
Hatfields versus McCoys, exactly. I'll give you a little American piece there to compare it to. Welcome to Where in the World Cup, our geographical journey through every team that is playing in the 2026 World Cup. And today we are beginning with a country that you are probably familiar with and you may think you know a lot about, but I bet we are going to tell you some things that you don't know, especially related to their history in the World Cup. Today we are going to talk about Brazil.
And geographically, Brazil dominates South America. It is the fifth largest country in the world, and it stretches from the north, where they have the Amazon rainforest, to the south, where they have the Pampas. It includes 4,600 kilometers of coastline along the Atlantic Ocean, which is roughly 7,500 miles.
Okay.
It has a diverse ecosystem, which includes mountains, wetlands, savannas, and tropical forests.
Well, Brazil is also the most successful nation in World Cup's history. They've won 5, which is the most out of any team.
Wow.
Germany has 4, Italy has 4, Argentina has 3, but nobody's been able to compete with Brazil's 5. They've made every single World Cup since 1930.
Wow.
Never experienced not being in a World Cup like other nations, even including the U.S.
Yes.
And they've had many, many amazing players. Like many will know, Pelé. Others will probably know Romario, Ronaldinho. Many will definitely know Neymar.
Yes.
And they've always been a very technical team that shows a lot of flair, always fun to watch. Some players that you might want to see in this World Cup is someone like Rafinha, someone like Vinicius Jr., even their goalkeeper Alisson, who will pull off some really great saves, even has some good technicality with his feet as well, and Mateus Cunha. Oh, and Estevo.
Estevo.
Yeah,
okay.
Estevo or Estevao. He's a 19-year-old from Chelsea, and he'll probably be in the World Cup as well. So
that's awesome.
Those are some players to watch. They'll always excite you. They'll always pull off something you didn't know they could do. They could score goals from anywhere. They're just very fun to watch. And for Alisson, they can save goals from anywhere.
Yes. And a great team to get interested in and follow in the World Cup, because they will likely go pretty far.
Yes.
So they're historically successful and have a lot of good players. Sure. All right. That is Brazil.
Hi, I'm Emily.
I'm Nick.
And we are starting a new segment called Wait, That's a Rule? We're going to explain some common rules that people are confused by or have questions with just in any game or whenever it pops up in games that we're watching. But with your experience as being a lifelong fan and doing some refereeing, you know, kind of what to look for and how to explain some of these things. So what are we going to talk about today?
Today we're going to talk about the allowance for time lost, which is more commonly known as added time or injury time. It is time that is added to the end of each half to account for any sort of stoppage in play. Think like substitutions, injuries, time wasting, VAR checks, penalty kicks. So unlike a lot of professional sports where they stop the clock whenever a play is dead or something like that, with soccer they don't stop the clock at all. But to make sure that the game stays true to the amount of time that's intended for it to last, the referee will add time to the end of each half to account for when the ball's out of play. At the professional level, the clock runs from 0 to 45 and then from 45 to 90. That is your set amount of time. Just about in every instance, the referee will add additional time, anywhere from 1 minute to, I've seen as high as 20 minutes, usually between 1 and 6 minutes, to account for those stoppages in the game. The initial amount of time is recommended by the fourth official. So a typical referee crew is 4 members on the field plus, VAR, depending on which competition it is. But you have your center referee, you have your 2 assistant referees, and then you have your fourth official. The fourth official is the one who stands kind of between the 2 team benches at the halfway line. He maintains the clock, makes sure players get substituted in and out appropriately, things like that. One of his duties is to recommend to the center referee how much time should be added to each half. As you're nearing the end of a half, you'll see somebody kind of step up to that halfway line and they'll hold up a big video board that says however many minutes. Ultimately, the decision on how much time comes down to the center referee. The minimum is established by the fourth official. So if he says 4 minutes, okay, you have a floor of 4 minutes. But say right after the fourth official holds up that video board, a player gets injured or a team decides to make a substitution, and so the referee can add on time to that to account for that.
That's decided by the middle ref.
That's decided by the center referees.
But it can be lower than 1.
Correct.
What if he disagrees or she?
It's not
What
really
if fans,
typical. I mean,
what if it's really wrong? Has that happened? Does that happen often?
If the fourth official is really wrong, then the center referee, there have been instances where the center referee, just extends it. If there was 3 minutes recommended, they may end up playing 6 minutes or whatever. Again, the center referee has to find the call.
What I don't like about this is that depending on where you're watching, sometimes you can see the clock going up again, and sometimes it's just stopped at 90. Why do they do that?
On the broadcast, it's always going to keep counting. But within the stadium...
Yeah, inside the stadium.
Within the stadium, different leagues may have different rules. I believe that there are some leagues that don't necessarily show that they stop the clock at 90 and then don't show, if it's the 92nd minute or whatever, it still just says 90 until the center referee blows the whistle. Again, because it is up to the center referee's determination as to when the whistle blows. So if this fourth official holds up 3 minutes and the center referee thinks it should be 5 or 6, the fans might get pretty upset.
How are the players supposed to know?
They can ask the official what the time count is, but that's about it.
That's annoying.
It is an aspect of the game that is, I think, confusing for new fans, particularly in the first half, because when you have first half added time, the clock goes past 45. So 45 is where the first half ends, but you have that additional time. So it'll go up to 40, 48, 49, 50, whatever. But then to start the second half, it goes back down to 45, and you start from 45 to 90. And that's just to ensure consistency across the board.
Okay, well, I think that helps kind of explain a confusing rule.
Yeah.
And people call it different things, just like added time or...
Yeah. Added time, injury time, stoppage time. It goes by a variety of names, but it's all referring to the same thing.
Okay. Well, thank you for explaining that. And we will be back again to discuss another rule.
See you next week.
Bye.
In our quest to get new fans involved with the game, we've done regular matchups with people over the summer, but we've also started doing something new called speed matchups. We've done a few of them, and we have a brand new one, and we want to share it during the podcast. This one is with Brandon Carroll, and so I'll let you see how we matched him up and how that turned out. Welcome to another edition of our speed matchup, and today we have somebody that I have the pleasure of working with in my real job a lot.
The pleasure's mine, Michelle.
Well, I appreciate that. Mr. Brandon Carroll.
Hello.
A local realtor here in Springfield, Missouri. So thank you, Brandon, for agreeing to do the matchup.
All right, thanks for having me.
What do you know about football/soccer?
So most of the guys can't use their hands.
Correct.
That's about it.
That's okay. Well, it's a start. You know something.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Well, we're going to go through. I'm going to ask you 5 very rapid fire questions.
Let's go.
You're going to give me an answer, and then based on your answers, I'm going to give you 3 teams to choose from.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That'll mean nothing to me, but let's go.
Well, I can answer a few questions if you want. Okay, here we go. Chaos or control?
Chaos.
Underdog or super club?
I'm always fighting for the dog.
Okay.
So underdog.
Old school or modern energy?
Old school.
Heart or head?
Heart, always.
Party in the stands or calm on the couch?
Party.
Okay, I have your choices for you.
Okay.
Okay, these are all clubs that we already have people matched up with as well, so you will have some friends,
Okay.
no matter who you pick.
All right.
For a Premier League club, we have Manchester United. For La Liga, we have Barcelona, or in the Bundesliga, Borussia Dortmund.
Gotta go Man U.
Man U,
Man
all
U.
right. So Emily and Nick, who are 2 of our contributors, we have a new Man United fan, so they can get you up to speed on everything. So follow our socials.
Okay.
Follow us on YouTube, and we'll keep you updated on how your team is doing.
High five.
All right. Thanks, Brandon. Thank you to Brandon Carroll for participating in our speed matchup. We really appreciate his willingness, and again, we're just trying to bring new fans into the game. All right, Chase, can you tell us a little bit about what AFCON is, African Cup of Nations? What's happening with that?
So that's the national tournament for the entirety of Africa.
Okay.
So obviously countries like Egypt, Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, Ethiopia, and all the players that play for all the teams will now go on to international duty.
Okay.
So if you're watching a new team that you just got into and they say one of their players isn't there and they're off to AFCON, that's what it is.
Okay.
It's the African Cup of Nations.
Okay. So, for example, Mo Salah is going to play at AFCON.
Yes.
So even though things have been dicey with Liverpool and we don't know what's happening, when he's not there at the next game, it's not necessarily anything.
Not because he's he got punched in the face by the manager or anything like that.
Left the team,
Left
packed
the
his
team.
bags.
No.
He was going to be gone anyway because
Yes.
he is playing for his country of
Yes.
Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if any of those players are your favorite.
Okay.
You'll have to wait for a while.
You'll have to wait. How long does it last? Do you know?
I think it's through all of December.
Okay.
And it's a very prestigious tournament, by
Okay.
the way. It's a lot of passion in it and everything.
Yes. I have heard a lot of talk about the African countries.
It's very fun to watch.
Yes.
As well.
So do you know where people can watch it? If it's on Paramount
I'm
or
not really sure.
We'll look for that, and if we can find that, we'll share that with folks because
Yeah, I've seen some highlights and it's very fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of passion. Even the fans are involved. in
so
the
we'll
game.
definitely watch some and share that with people as
Yes.
well if you don't get a chance to watch it. Okay. Grandma, anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
Yes, my senior brain finally remembered that Trent Alexander-Arnold has a muscle injury in his left quadricep, and that is the reason he will be out until possibly February.
Okay. So he's out for a while injured, and so we'll look for him to return, and hopefully in the meantime, you can suffer through with Jude Bellingham.
That's right. I can.
For those who don't know, Grandma has a love-hate relationship with
He's
Jude
really
Bellingham.
good, though.
He is. He is good. But he needed to keep his arm out of the way today.
It's always something. Always something.
Was a handball. Could have been another.
We're sorry, Jude.
Could have been
So
another goal.
just got to work harder to win Grandma over.
Yeah, he'll see this. Yeah.
You see this, I know. Jude Bellingham, when you see this, know that Chase and I are lobbying for you, and
Yeah.
eventually Grandma will come around. So.
That's right. That's right.
All right, that's all we have for this week. Please follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also on our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Till next time, we'll see you later.